All right, welcome back to another game of Play Action Express. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of this game. Actually, in collaboration with Jason Graham of the YouTube channel Jason Flash Football at Jason Flash Football, so you can check out his channel as well. And Jason came up with the original concept and actually created this deck of cards, which is this deck of cards here, which is the Run Heavy deck. And so if you have a team that's run heavy, that is 60% running, 40% passing. You can use that deck. If this is the balance deck, which we're going to use for both teams, the Broncos sort of teeter on the edge of that. They could use this red deck, which is the pass heavy deck, but that's about 58-42%. So I would probably reserve that for teams that are really a little bit closer to 60%. So this would be it's going to be teetering somewhere between these two teams. The Raiders almost completely 50-50, so 51 rushing, 49 passing, and the Broncos 45% rushing, 55% passing. So there's a little bit on the edge of that, but we're going to use the same one for simplicity's sake. I did play a game yesterday. I played the Cowboys at the Redskins, and you can see the final up here, 28-14. As the Cowboys put up, they just kept getting fumbles. I think Washington lost like 3 fumbles in that game and just couldn't get things going. I wound up playing that game using the timing, so the clock over here. So I played out the entire game using the clock, and everything was fine. You can do that. That's not the intention of the game. The intention of the game is that you play 16 possessions, so each team is going to get 8 possessions, and you fully play out those 8 possessions with the cards. So it's not like the drive-by-drive game where it's one roll basically determines the entire possession or what happened in the possession. Here you're going to play out a whole drive, but you're only going to get 8 of those drives per game in a regulation game. We also have the charts here. So these are the Express FAC charts, and they have everything that we need for the kicking game and for turnovers. Penalties also are on there. I'm just using my basic play action football field here to keep track of the action. We're going to have the Raiders, the 85 Raiders at the 85 Broncos. 1985 will be one of the first seasons available for the Express game. I'll also release 1978, and since we kind of have those already ready, we'll just put those out. What my plan is, you'll be able to buy the Express game with the small cards like this. And you'll be able to purchase the season, so you'll be able to get all the cards from the team cards from 1985. So you can see them all here. I've cut them out. And so these are all the team cards for that season. And you'll get all 3 decks. So we have 3 decks, the balanced offense, the run heavy, and the pass heavy offense. So you can use those as you want to, as the game dictates it. As the teams dictate it, you can use those. So it's not a super big footprint. So you can actually, I just basically had them like this. So which card deck does this team use? And I would kind of put it across from each other and then just flip them over. You just have to remember who's on offense and defense. That's what this is for me to just mark which team. And then that'll help you know how to read the defenses as well. There will also be a game guide. So I'm finishing up the game guide. There's actually one little section left that Jason came up with, a defensive system. So if you want to incorporate the base defenses and some other defenses into particular situations in the game, so there'll be sort of a D6 roll that you roll, and then it'll show you. I wish I had an instance of it, but I don't. But you'll see it. It's kind of in the appendix at the end of the game guide. But basically, you roll to see what is the defense in a particular situation, in a particular call. So first and goal, or, goal to goal from 6 to the goal line is one type of play call where the goal line might come in. Ahead on the final drive, prevent defense is going to come in. Stuff like that. So there'll be blitzes and things like that you've been accustomed to playing. If you play action football, you've been accustomed to having those sort of defensive plays mean something in the game. Well, he built a little chart. So basically, you roll the d6, you find out what the formation is for that situation, and then you check the chart, and then there may be some extra yardage taken off or given up based off of the play call, which run, pass, and based on the defense. So, and the situation. So it's kind of a little bit of a situational football type of add-on for the Play Action Football Express that I don't think Jason has really used it in his videos, but he has talked about it before, and he included it on his own Google Drive. But that will be packaged with the game guide, so you'll get that as well. So you get the small team cards, the Play Action Express decks. You'll get the I'll include this clock and field, so you can just have something to use if you don't have anything. I'll include the FAC charts, and I will include something else. I thought there was something else, but maybe not. I'll consider making a score sheet. I've just gone to this format. You can use this format for both the Express game and for the, that's what I was going to add, is the drive-by-drive. So you'll get the drive-by-drive charts as well, and those will be included. So you'll have kind of two modes to play the Express version. So you can have the drive-by-drive, or you can do drive-by-drive with the FAC cards. So the drive-by-drive version is dice only, and you're just looking for drive outcomes with one roll of the dice. For this version, it's drive-by-drive, yes, but we are playing out the fullness of every drive. So a little bit different, but also the same. I actually use the same format with 8 drives per, 8 drives per half, per half, 16 per quarter. And I just have, the scores broken down by quarter up here. And then I just put out, who is the one on the drive and what happened on the play. And then that seems to work out really well for keeping track of the game and being able to go back and see what happened in the game. So let's get this one started. I just want to, this will be part tutorial, part game. We might even I may even have time to get a couple of games in here. So let's play the Raiders at the Broncos. This is a classic AFC West matchup. These two teams hate each other. They've always hated each other, as far as I know. I lived in Denver and outside of Denver for, I don't know, probably 4 years combined. And so I understand Bronco country, understand the hatred of the Raiders, and vice versa, how the Raider fans hate those Broncos. And these were two pretty good teams. I want to say that 1984 was an Elway season. But I'm not sure. I looked up the final score of this game, and the final score was 17-14 as both teams duked it out, and then they went to overtime. The first game they played was 31-28. The Raiders won both of them, but they were both overtime games. This is John Elway in, I don't know, what is this, maybe his second year. So this would have been Elway in his third year in the league. So this is sort of pre-MVP Elway, although he had quite a bit of success. They won 12 games with him at the helm before. They won 11 this season, and he would go on to be an MVP candidate most of the time through the rest of his career. So this game wound up 17-14. We'll see if we get that sort of that level. When I checked the Cowboy game that I just showed you, it was 28-14. I played it out with the clock. The actual game for when they went to Washington was 13-7. And then when they played at Dallas, it was 44-14 where the Cowboys won. So I feel like that really hit somewhere right in between. So I felt like that was average scores for that particular matchup. I felt like it was a little low for a while. It was 14-7.5, and I thought, man, there's a lot going on here, and then and also not a lot going on here. And then the Cowboys scored a couple times in the second half, and the Washington had tied it up, and then the Cowboys started to pull ahead. So that was sort of what it was. All right, allergies are killing me, so I'm going to try to make it through this. If my voice sounds bad or if I break into a cough, I'll try to get you on mute before before that happens. But boy, we're at high season here for trees breaking out and fall is here. Whew. Allergies are kind of bad up here. I'm not from Chicago, so the allergies hit me worse than if I was back home. Never had allergies back in Texas, but up here they hit me bad in the fall. So I will try to make sure I get onto that mute button before I have to cough. Hopefully it just doesn't happen, and we'll be okay. All right, we have. Okay, so we're taking the game. This is a setup. You have your 2 team cards. You need to decide on the team cards. You need to decide which deck you're going to use. I'm going to use the black deck, which is the balanced deck for both teams. So we'll just have one deck to use. And then we have our game set up here. So we don't quite know who's going to kick off or anything yet. I'm going to use the white die for the road Raider team and the orange die for the home Broncos. So what we need to do is first cut the cards. So what we do is we cut the deck, whatever deck, or if you're using multiple decks, you would cut each deck. I've tried using the third deck as the random number deck, but the game is really meant to be played this way that I'm showing you. So it's meant to be played where you have a deck of cards and you cut that deck. You cut it about 1/3 is what I've found. We might need to do closer to a half since we're using the same deck for both teams. But if you keep that pile a little bit shorter, it tends to help. Okay, so the shorter pile is going to be our random number deck. The taller pile is going to be our play deck. So we're going to be flipping this for every play. When we need something for special teams or a field goal, or watch, I realize special teams includes field goals. So special teams, interceptions, fumbles, breakaways, block kicks, onside kicks, and post play penalties. So all that, everything that's on this chart here, should be used with the random number deck. You could also use a regular old D12. That number is based on a 1 to 12, so you can roll a single D12 and you can get the same randomness without the cards. But this is sort of a no dice version. I know I'm just using these dice as markers. So that's move number 1 is cut your deck so that you have a regular deck, play deck, and then you have the random number deck. And I'm going to flip these down so that this card is here and the discard is here. So what we need to do is flip the coin, so to speak. So what I like to do is 1 to 6, 7 to 12. That's a 50-50, and it's like flipping a coin. You can flip an actual coin. You could roll a single D6, or you can, whatever your favorite way to do this is, you can roll a D12. You could do odds and evens. So odd numbers is visitor, even numbers is home, however you want to do it. I'm going to do 1 to 6 goes to the visiting team for the Raiders. 7 to 12 goes to the Broncos. So we flip our card. It's a 4, and the choice is going to go to the Raiders. So the Raiders are going to choose to kick off in the first half and receive in the second half. I make a little note of that on here just so that I can keep it straight, because once you get into the game, you'll forget sometimes. But although on this one, it'll tell you, usually the way I keep track, it'll tell you like who started with the ball. So I like to just make a note of that, especially when I'm playing a long form football game, because I always forget who had the ball first. I don't keep drive by drive stats, so it's a little bit more difficult for me to keep track of that. So I'll just kind of make a note of that. All right, so the Raiders are going to kick off to the Broncos. Broncos will receive first. And I don't know all the rules from 1985. I was only 7 that season. That was a little bit before I started paying attention to football, and way before I started paying attention to what are the rules of football. So I didn't start playing football actively until junior high. We didn't have any sort of little kid leagues or anything like that in my small town. So we're going to have the kickoff. I'm going to kick everybody off from the 35. I don't know if it was the 30 or the 35. It doesn't really matter for this game because really you're looking at where did the kickoff land, and that's what this chart is going to tell you. So we're going to look first at the kickoff chart. It's going to tell you where did the ball land, and then we look at the kick return chart, and this says how many yards did you get. If we get an F, that's going to be a fumble. So 10-yard return plus a fumble. If we have the plus, that's going to lead to needing to roll for breakaway yardage. That's how you're going to get the potential for a touchdown. Okay, so let's do that. Kickoff from the Raiders is a 7. 7 is all the way down to the 1, so good kick there, 64 yards. And the return is also a 1, so that is going to be the 10 yards. So out to the 11, there's a fumble on the play, so we need to roll our random number again. 1 to 6. So on a fumble recovery, we're looking here. And 1 to 6 goes to the offense. 7 to 12 goes to the defense. So 50-50 split on that. And we have a 3, so the offense gets the ball, even though it was the returner who fumbled the ball. So we got 10 yards on the return. There's a fumble, and then picked up at the spot. We'll just leave it there for a spot. You could technically go for, I think the fumbler can return the ball even farther, but I'm just going to leave it at the spot of the fumble. So it'll be Denver 1st and 10, and I'll walk through one set a little bit slowly here, just as a if you're not familiar with the game. I think most of you on this channel at this point are probably familiar, but maybe some new folks, and I'm planning to use this as a tutorial video. All right, so first up, we have, and you can see that the color on this is black. Black means that it's going to be the balanced offense. You can see here, this is a blue card, and that's going to be for run heavy. And this one is a red card, and that's going to be for pass heavy. So that's how you can tell them apart. We have a few different things here. So we're looking at this pile. This is our play Discord pile. And basically this is the first drive. We're going to play out the entire drive, regardless what happens. There's no time being kept. The time is possessions. So 16 possessions in the game. This is possession number 1 for the Broncos. And then we're just going to alternate possessions between the teams. There's no skipping possessions or anything like that. You'll find that in the drive-by-drive game, which is more abstract. But this one is more linear, and so it's more like a normal football game. Should we have a fumble or like a interception gets returned for a touchdown or something like that, that's going to count as a possession. So the game is meant to go quickly. I'm going to play it slowly, but the game is meant to be played actually quite quickly. So first play from scrimmage, it says offense. So we have a difference between offense and defense. We have a running play, and we have 1 yard. That's what that means. So it's a run for 1 yard. And to find any modifiers, we're looking at the offensive card. And then we check the offense's offense, since they're on offense. And they have a +1. So we're going to add this and this. So instead of just a 1 yard run, they're actually going to get 2 yards. So that will be a 2-yard run on first down. It's now second down and 8. If you need to use this random number for something, let's say you wanted to use it for figuring out which player, if you're playing the big game, which I'll add these small team cards to the big game. If you're playing the full play game, it has all the players listed on here, so you could use that if you wanted to. So we flip a card, second down. We have a penalty. Pre-snap, it's on the offense for 5 yards, so that's going to send them back 5 yards. We'll call that a false start, or it could be delay of game, could be illegal motion, could be any number of things. All right. We have an offense run. I think for Jason, he would want you to play that out, because what if it's illegal formation or something? For me, I'm going to play, if it's on the offense, that's 5-yard penalty, pre-snap, it's a penalty on the offense. So if it's the defense, I'm going to treat it as if the play continues. You know, sometimes the guys jump off sides. You get a free play, so to speak. That's how I'm going to play it with the defense. That's how I've written it into the game. You can choose to do those penalties where you play them out, and then you can decline all penalties. You know, nothing is a stoppage penalty. You know, there could be a defensive penalty where you actually make contact with the offensive player and it stops the play, right? And there's no play. You could roll a 50-50 to see if the play continues or if it's a dead ball foul. There's lots of different things that you can do with the penalties themselves to bring in a little bit more realism. I'm going to say offense is a dead ball foul. Like it's pre-snap. There's no actual snap. For the defense, I'm going to continue to run the play. If, let's say it's an incomplete pass, I'm going to take the offsides or whatever it is, the encroachment or whatever the penalty was, too many men on the field. I don't know. Who knows what it is. I'm going to take that penalty if the penalty is better than the play. So that's just how I'm going to play it. And you can choose to play that a different way. That's how I wrote it into the rules, though. All right, second down. Offense, again, looking at the offensive card, we have another run. This is going to be 2 yards, plus 1 is 3 yards. So that takes it out to the 11. That brings up third down. Remember, we had a penalty, so we didn't get to third down on that second flip. Now we are looking at the defense. We have a pass. It won't matter because it's incomplete, but we have a pass that's incomplete, and that's going to lead to a fourth down. So we have fourth down and 10, and we need to punt. So Elway and team unsuccessful on the first drive. We get a 12. 12 is going to be a 59-yard boomer. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minus 1 is to the 30. And we have a return of 10. 10 is going to be 12 yards on the return. So out to the 42. And that will be where the Raiders take over, 1st and 10 on their first drive. So we get a punt for the Broncos on their first drive. And the Raiders take over 1st and 10. This was a good Raider team. They were sort of, I think, on the backside, or sort of the backside of their championship window, but still very effective. We get a first down play. This is going to be an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10. Okay, so we're looking at the defensive card. They have a -1. There's a pass. There's 11 yards. And then instead of adding 1 like we did on the offense, we subtract whatever the defense is. Basically, we add the defensive number. So 11 plus a -1 is 10. So we have 10 yards on the pass, but there's a post-snap penalty on the play. So we need to flip a random card, 7. And this is where we're looking down here at our post-snap penalties. This is a 7 to 9. So we have a 10-yard pass. We have a 15-yard penalty on the offense post-play or post-snap. And what we're going to do is we're going to count off that 10 yards, so to the 48, and then we're going to say take them back 10, 15. So I'm going to give them a first down on that for the first down, and then they're going to get 15 yards, something like an unsportsmanlike conduct or something like that. So the Raiders will have 1st and 15 after that penalty. So net, they lost 5 yards. So, we're looking at the offense now. So at the Raiders, we have a run for 6 yards. And so nice pickup there out to the 43. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 as they try to get this drive started after a little bit of a hiccup. Okay, so here we're looking at the offensive card. We have a pass for 7 yards. Plus 1 becomes 8. And that's going to take the ball out to that's 7, 8 to the 49. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and short. So they're going to run the ball off the left tackle. That's a run for 3 yards. And that pushes the ball to the 46. That'll be a first down. Good job on 3rd down to make a little seam there for Marcus Allen. First down play. We have an offense. The run is, the base yardage is 0. But because we're looking at the offensive card, it's a 1. So they do eke out 1 yard. power of their offensive rating. Oh boy, they drop back for the pass, and we're going to get a sack. We're looking at the defense. Defense is a -1, -7 plus a -1 is -8, and so we're going to drop back 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. It'll be now third down and 19, 18, 17. Third down and 17 to go. We get a pass. We're looking at the defensive card. Pass is 4 yards for the base. -1 is 3. So only 3 yards on the pass. So a little short dump off as everybody downfield is covered. And that's going to lead to a 4th down. Okay, so we're at midfield. And it is 4th down and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Not going to go for that. We can punt regularly. Our punts often get into the 50s. We can also elect from the 50-yard line in, like from the 50-yard line and toward the goal line for the offense. We can elect to coffin corner punt. That's going to take 10 yards off of our punts. So if our punt happens to be 35 yards, it'll only be 25 yards, and the ball will be spotted at the 25. However, if it's a 47-yard kick and we subtract 10, that'll be 37 yards, and then the ball will be out a little bit farther toward the 13. We're going to take our chances since we're at the 50 and just punt the ball. The worst thing that could happen is an 11 or 12 that would go into the end zone for a touchback. It's not that. It's a 37 yards, so 10, 20, 30, and then 7 takes it to the 13. So punt is down to the 13. The return is a 12. Okay, so now we have an opportunity for big yardage here. So we have the 18 on the punt return. So it's going to be 18 yards, and you see the plus sign. The plus means the breakaway yardage is added. So we need to roll for this breakaway. Anything from 5 to 12 is going to add yardage to that 18. So we flip our card. It's a 7. That's going to be big yardage, 40 yards. So 40 plus 18 is 58 yards. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 8 is going to take it down to the 29 as he gets pushed out of bounds at the 29. So second play, LA punts, or second drive, LA punts. And from the 13, the Denver returner hits a seam, gets down the sideline, and gets pushed out at the 29 for a huge return, 58 yards, 59 yards. Sorry, 58 yards. So great field position here for the Denver Broncos as they have their second possession of the game. Again, playing this slowly, normally this game would take 15 or 20 minutes, but just kind of walking you through everything. Now that we're in the process, we have everything kind of ready. I want to make sure there's one video out there that we can point to and say, if you want to know how to play this game, this is how you play. So we have the defense, a running play, 5 base yards, but the Raiders were really good on defense. This is, I don't know, Howie Long, Lyle Zato. They had a lot of great players on this team. And so we have a 5 minus 2 is a 3. So the run is for 3 yards. That's down to the 26. That'll bring up second down. Offense drops back. Elway is going to be incomplete on the pass, brings up third down. Okay, so we have offense. We're looking here. 3 yards becomes 4. So we have 4 yards down to the 22. And we have a fumble. So the ball is on the ground. We need to see, did the recovery go to the offense or the defense? It's a 1. 1 to 6 goes to the offense. And so the the ball came out after a 6-yard run or a 4-yard run, but the offense jumps on it. So that counts as a down, and they don't lose the ball. They still get an opportunity to kick the field goal. We're at the 22, so that's going to be 32 plus 7 is 39 yards. And to test our kicking, we look here on the team's kicking chart. We see that from 30 to 39 yards, they're 55%. They're actually better if we went all the way back to 40 yards. So for kicking, we need to use the field goal chart. You'll use this field goal percentage chart for both field goals and point after touchdowns. Whatever we draw here, we're going to draw a 1 to 12 random number. Whatever we draw here has to be equal to or less than this number. So when we look at our chart, it has to be a 7 or greater, because a 7 is 52%, 6 is 60%, so that's greater than our 55. So we need something that is 7 or greater to make this field goal. And the snap, the hold, a 6 is up, and it's just wide right as they missed a field goal. So missed field goal, and this one a defensive game so far. So it was at the 22. The holder was holding it at the 29, and that is where you take over 1st and 10 on a missed field goal. So Raiders take over 1st and 10 on a missed field goal, as this one's still tied, and this will be the last play of the first quarter. Oh boy, they get a big play. So we're looking at the defense. There's a pass. 27 is our base yard, so we need to subtract 1 because we're looking at the defensive card. So 26 is a big time play. So 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that will take the ball all the way out to the Denver 45. So big time play on 1st down. We're looking at the defense again. Now we have a negative yardage for our base. We look at the defense. They have a negative yardage. -1 plus a -1 is -2. So that is a 2-yard loss. And that will be 2nd down and 12. Now we get a big run to the offense. Offense is a +1. 13 plus 1 is 14. We have a plus sign. Anytime there's a plus sign, you're looking at the breakaway. So we need to flip our random number chart. That doesn't matter. And we have an 8. So 8 on the breakaway chart. You can see here 8 on the breakaway chart is a 50. So we're going to add 50 yards to our 14. 50 plus 14 is 64. And we only needed 47 to get to the goal line. So Marcus Allen gets the edge, shimmy shakes, gets one guy to miss, breaks it back to the middle as a safety over commits, and he takes it straight down the middle of the field for a 47-yard touchdown run. So that's how that works. So if your breakaway yardage plus your base yardage is greater than your distance to go for the touchdown, then it leads to a touchdown. The initial run is 14 yards, and then if he runs 1,000,000 yards past the back of the end zone, it doesn't matter because he's crossed the goal line with the ball, right? He's run across the goal line. So that's going to be a touchdown. So it doesn't matter that it was actually 60-something yards. It's like he ran up into the tunnel or something weird. 47-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders with the extra point. A 6 is going to be good. And they take a 7-0 lead with 1 possession left here in the first half. So they'll kick off to the Broncos. So big time play there from the Raider offense. Let's get a kick. We have a 6, and that's down to the goal line. So see about the return. 1 possession left here in the first quarter. After each quarter, we'll shuffle all of our cards. So we have a 3. 3 on the return is going to be 15 yards. So that is carried out to the 15 from the goal line. And that's where Denver's going to take over 1st and 10. So Bronco football. 1st down play. Nice play on the 1st down. So it's going to be a run for 7 plus 1 is 8. Out to the 23, brings up 2nd down and 2. Most of the plays come out just that easily. Offense, pass, incomplete. On 2nd and 2, they try to do a little play action and come up short. This time it'll be a running play to the defense. 4 yards on the base play. -2 is 2, and that's going to put them right there at the 1st down. the officials come out, they have to do the spot and the mark, and they have the chains, and it just by the nose of the football, they get a first down. If you have the full game and you want to go ahead and play coaches challenges and things like that, you could do that for more modern seasons. All right, we have a first down card. So what that means is there's a running play. We're looking at the defense card for any modifications, but we have a first down yardage. Now it's first down and 10 to go. So that means we get 10 yards because of the first down. We need to look at the defense, and the defense is going to modify this by -2. So it's the first down yardage -2. So it still leaves us second down and 2. So that's how it works. If it was to the offense and you it's at offense run for the first down, it would be the first down +1. So then we would go here and it'd be an 11-yard gain. If it was first down and 32, it would be a 32-yard gain -2. So that's a big card. All right, offensive pass, and that's going to be good for 6 yards. So out to the 39 as Elway connects on a little short pass. That'll be first down and 10 from the Denver 39. Another good pass. This time we're looking at the defensive card. 13 -2 is 11. So 10, 11, that gets the ball out to midfield. And Denver is moving here at the end of the quarter. And now we have a chance for a big play. So offensive pass, 13 + 1 is 14. And then we're going to get a random number to see if there's any breakaway yardage. So 14 + 0. So 1 through 4 is no breakaway yardage. 5 through 12 is breakaway yardage. So this one is going to equal 14 yards. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Takes the ball to the 36-yard line, and it will be first and 10 Broncos. To the offense, there's a run. 1 + 1 is 2, so a 2-yard gain. We have another pass from Elway. This one, 14 yards, no plus, just a 14-yard gain. And that's going to take the ball down to the 20-yard line. Another big pass from Elway as he gets back in the shotgun, trying to get his team on his back and go tie this game up. 12 + 1 is 13, 10, 11, 12, 13. That will spot the ball at the 7. It'll be first and 10 from the, or actually first and goal from the 7. Defense, a run of 6 yards -2 is 4. And so 4 takes the ball down to the 3. We get an offense that's a run for 2 yards. That'll put the ball at the 1 as they plug ahead. They're at the 1-yard line, and are they going to be able to punch it in? Defense run of 1. 1 -2 is -1 as they drop them for a loss. Back to the 2. That's going to bring up third down. A penalty on the offense pre-snap. That's going to be 5 yards, actually half the distance to the goal line. We'll replay the down. And defense run of 2. 2 -2 is 0, so that was a huge stop as they stopped them. It's now 4th and goal from the 1. Denver's going to take the chance. They're going to line up and they're going to say, we're going to punch you in the mouth. They may throw a surprise pass. We'll see. It is a surprise pass. It goes to the defense. 9 -2 is 7, so the pass is complete for 7 yards. They're at the 1. They had 11 yards to play with, so they fake the handoff and dump it over to the tight end for the touchdown. Maybe that's someone like a Carl Mecklenburg or somebody. I don't know who the tight end was for them. I don't even remember if Mecklenburg played tight end, but it sounds right. So a pass from Elway. That is going to be a touchdown pass. And let's see about the extra point. The extra point is up, and it is good. So they have a 93. So anything from 2 to 12 is going to be a good extra point. So Denver drives back down the field, and they get a 1-yard TD pass from Elway, and they tie up the game at 7. That's gonna, oh, that was actually the start of the quarter, so I should I should go ahead and shuffle the cards, but we'll do that now. That I was messed up. I thought that was the end of the quarter. So that's the start of the second quarter. They get shut out in the first half, but they tie it up here early in the second, or in the first quarter, and then they tie it up here in the second quarter. So let me put you on hold while I shuffle these cards. Okay, our deck is shuffled. We are into the second quarter. We'll have a kickoff from Denver to LA. And the kickoff is a 12. It'd help if you all could see that number. You've probably been wondering how I was getting those numbers the whole time. So a 12 on the kickoff is going to go down to the 7. So a short kickoff, only 58 yards. Sorry, that was not the one I wanted. Pay attention, Brian. I was looking at the field over here. So we have a kickoff return of 11. That'll be 30 yards on the return out to the 37. Terrific return for the Raiders. The Raiders. I don't know if you've listened to John Gruden's channel. I was listening to him break down the Vikings and Chargers game before the game the other night. He's almost a caricature. It's funny to listen to, but God, he's got a lot of football. He loves the Raiders. He still loves the Raiders. So this is going to be defense. That was really an aside. First down and 10 for the Raiders. Defense, -1. It's 4 -1 is going to be 3 yards. That's out to the 40. It'll be second down and 7. Another run. Off tackle, this one is going to be to the offense, though. 9 + 1 is 10. And that'll take the ball out to the 50. That's a first down run. And the Raiders are off and running here, literally. 9 - 1 is 8. So another good pickup. And this time, the Broncos load up the front line with big bodies. This will go to the offense. That's just a 1-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a third down and 1. So let's see if they're able to get it. Defense, run of 3. 3 - 1 is 2. 2 yards is going to be enough to get them the first down. So that will be at the 39-yard line of the Broncos, first and 10. The Raiders coming out here after that long drive from Denver, committing to the run. This will be a gain of no yards as Denver's getting savvy. And now they raise up and pass. This goes to the defense. 11 - 1 is 10. So a 10-yard play. We have a penalty. And that is going to be defensive pass interference. So we have a 10-yard play. It's a first down either way. And we're going to decline the penalty. We're going to take the yardage. That way, the wide receiver and the quarterback can get that yardage, and there's no problem there. Offense on first down, a run of 0. That will be a run of 1 yard. So they eke out just a little bit. Maybe they give them a little bit extra. We get a penalty. This is going to be a penalty on the defense. So the defense jumps. The play is going to be a run for -1. They're going to take the yardage and replay the down. So down to the 23. That will be still second down. Sorry. And this will go to the defense again. 5 - 1 is 4. And that'll be a run of 4 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right at the sticks. The referee signals first down. They don't even bring the chains out. And first and 10 from the Denver 19. We have an offense pass. 7 + 1 is 8 yards. And that takes the ball down to the 11. It's second down and 2. LA with a run of 3 yards, and they've been all but flawless and perfect on this drive. Everything going right for them. Let's see if it continues. It's 1st and goal from the 9. We get a run. 5 plus 1 is 6, down to the 3. 2nd down and goal from the 3 for the Raiders. This time to the defense. -1 plus -1 is -2 as they get dropped for a loss trying to get to the edge. It's now 3rd down and goal from the 5. They need a big play, and they're going to get it. That's going to be a run for 14 yards. So anything 5 yards or more is going to be a touchdown as they run the sweep around the edge, and LA is going to take it in for a 5-yard touchdown run. Good response there to the Denver drive. And let's see about the extra point. Extra point is up and good, and we have a 14-7 game with 2 possessions left here in the 4th. So let's get a kickoff. Kickoff from the Raiders is going to be down to the -2, so 2 yards deep in the end zone. We're going to gamble, and we're going to run it out. Pretty good gamble. 23 is the yardage, so 23 minus 2, 10, 20, 1, 2, 3. That's out to the 21. And it'll be 1st and 10 Denver from their own 21. So a good return from 2 yards deep. Could have kneeled it and taken it for a touchback. First play from scrimmage for the Broncos. It's going to be a run of 1 plus 1, so 2 yards as they plow ahead up the middle. This goes to the defense. 1 plus a -2 is a -1 as they drop them. Howie Long busts through and makes a play. It's now 3rd down and 9. We get an offensive run. This is 7 yards. There is a penalty on the play. So post play, a 7 is going to be on the offense. So we're going to get 7 yards to the 29, and then that's going to lead to a 4th down. And then we're going to go back 15 yards. So 10, 15, and now they're going to have to punt from pretty far away. So this is going to be a punt for Denver. A 12 is a boomer, 59 yards, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, -1, down to the 27 as they flip the script on that one. And the return is a 7. So the return is going to be 5 yards. So out to the 32. So terrific kick, mile high air. That was a boomer. And Denver punts on their final first half possession. It is LA Raider football. They've got just a few minutes left here in the half, and let's see if they can go down and score. First play is going to be an incompletion. Brings up 2nd down and 10. This is a run for 7 plus 1 because we're looking at the offense's card. And so that will take the ball out to the 40. Leaves 3rd down. 3rd down and 2. Sorry about that. Oh, we're looking at the defense. We got a sack. -5, -1 is -6. And that takes the ball back to the 34. That brings up 4th down and long. And we're going to have a punt. We'll make them punt, and we'll see if there's any kind of return. 5 is a punt of 41 yards. So 10, 20, 30, 40, and 1 down to the 25. And the return is a 6. And the 6 on the return is just 3 yards. And that is how this one is going to end. So the first half is over as both teams punt on their final drives of the half. Getting ready for LA to receive the second half kickoff. I will reshuffle the cards and come right back. All right, we are ready for the kickoff here in Denver, Colorado. Beautiful Colorado. LA is going to get the ball first here in the second half. Denver kicking off to the Raiders. They are behind 14-7 as LA scored at the end or the beginning of the 3rd quarter. And the kickoff from Denver is going to be a touchback. So 3 is a touchback. We'll have them start at the 20. I believe that's where they used to start. And this will be Raiders football. All right, first down and 10. This goes to the defense. There's a run for a first down, but it's going to be first down -1. So that's going to be 9 yards. And it'll bring up second down and 2. We have an offense, a pass to the offense that will be good for 6 yards. 6 yards takes it out to the 35. We have a first down and 10 for LA. A run, this is going to be a short run, just 2 yards. Second down and 8. And we have a pass as they drop back, and that is going to be incomplete off of the receiver's fingers and brings up third down and 8. This will be a short run. Actually, no run at all. So it's going to be a run for 0 yards as the Denver defense sniffs out that draw play. And that will lead to a punt. So we're going to get a punt from the Raiders. Ooh, it's a boomer, 59 yards. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus 9 is down to the 4-yard line. And let's see if they return it. They do. It's a good one. 10 yards, or 10 is going to be a 12-yard return out to the 16. So healthy return, and that will be Denver football as LA has to punt on their first drive of the second half. Denver comes out after halftime. Let's see what happened. If the old coach lit a fire or will not. This will be offense run at 7 yards. We do have a penalty. This will be a post-play penalty. 8 is going to be on the offense as things have been chippy the whole game. So we'll get 7 yards out to the 23, and then we're going to get 10, 15 back. So it'll be second down and forever. So second and 18 from the 8-yard line as they're going backwards on this drive. So second down play defense. We're looking at the defense number for a pass. So 9 minus 2 is 7. That takes the ball out to the 15. That's going to leave them with third down and 11 to go. We get a pass to the offense. That's going to be good for 9 yards. That's not going to be enough, though, as they get it to the 24. That'll bring up fourth down, and Denver's going to have to punt as well. Oh, it's a shaky punt. We get a 30 with a chance of a block. A 1 is here, so 30 with a block, and then that tells us here is a block chance, and then we need to roll here on the block kick. So 1 to 11 is no block, and it'll be 30 yards on the punt. 12 is going to be a blocked punt. It's a 5, and that winds up being a 10, 20, 30-yard punt. Very short, just past midfield. The return is just a 1, so that's going to be another crazy rare play. 3 yards on the return, and the ball is on the ground. So we have a fumble, and it's going to be picked up by the receiving team. So 3 yards, a fumble, and the Raiders pick the ball back up. I'm not going to count that fumble against them because they didn't lose it. So it'll be Raider football. And they lead 14-7 in their. This will be their second drive of the third quarter. First play, out of the shotgun, they throw an incompletion. Second play, they get it back on the ground. 13 plus 1 becomes 14, and then they have a plus. They have a chance at a breakaway here. Will it be Marcus Allen to the house? It won't be to the house, but it's 13, 14 plus 20. Is 34 yards. So 10, 20, 30 plus 4 is all the way down to the 17. And a terrific run there from Marcus Allen and this big line. We look at the defensive card. 6 minus 1 is 5, and that'll take the ball all the way down to the 12. It'll be second down and 5 for the Raiders. Oh my gosh, that's the one you don't want to see is the interception. We get a pass intercepted, and we got a two-part play for the interception. We had to figure out how far down the field the throw was picked off, and then we need to check out the return. So the pass was picked off 5 yards downfield, which puts it at the 7. So right at the first down marker as the linebacker jumps the jumps the route, and then we get a 6 on the return, and a 6 is going to be just 3 yards on the return. So Denver will take over 1st and 10 at their own 10, but they did create the turnover. So this is an INT, and Denver will have the ball. Big, huge play as LA was inside the red zone, and Denver will have their last drive of the third quarter. They start out with an incomplete pass from Elway, and then they get a big run here. This is going to be 9 minus 2 at 7, so out to the 17, brings up 3rd down and 3 for the Denver Broncos. Oh, just a 1 as they shut down the run to the Raiders, and that's going to force another punt. So we have a punt of 8. 8 is going to be 45 yards, so 10, 20, 30, 40, plus 5, down to the 37. And 12, that's a big return. 18 plus... No! 80! Oh my gosh, as they take it back to the house. 18 plus 80 is 98. That's much better than the 63 yards that they need to score, and that is going to be a punt return touchdown. So Denver with a punt. LA with a punt return TD of 63 yards. And that turns this one on its head, as that's actually going to be the first possession of the fourth quarter. Neither team scores in the third. And LA puts another here in the fourth. They go up by a score of 21-7. And they'll be kicking off to the Broncos. Let me get one more shuffle in here, and then we will be good to go for the fourth quarter. All right, and as we begin the fourth quarter, let's get a game recap. Our score is 21-7. We're looking at the bottom game here. We had a missed field goal from Denver in the first half. 47-yard touchdown run. That was a breakaway run for Marcus Allen. Then Denver comes back with a really long drive, sustained drive. They get down to the goal line, and I believe it was on 3rd or 4th down. They get a 1-yard touchdown pass. LA with a 5-yard TD run as they respond with a nice drive, and both teams close out the half with a punt. Not much going on. LA in the second drive of the third quarter with an interception. And then Denver punts the ball just now. They couldn't get anything going on offense as they have to punt. There was a killer penalty, 15-yard penalty on the offense as things are getting chippy down on the field between these two teams that absolutely hate each other. The return, punt return for TD of 63 yards gives LA the 21-7 advantage. We've shuffled. We're ready to go for the fourth quarter, and this will be the first possession for Denver. That's going to be a touchback out to the 20. It'll be 1st and 10, Broncos. Elway out of the shotgun on 1st down. He is going to throw it incomplete. Oh boy, he's in the shotgun for the second time. This will be a pass. So we're looking at 27 base yards, minus 2 is 25. And that's going to be 25-yard gain and a 1st down. So 10, 20, and 5 out to the 45. Big time play from John Elway. We get an offensive run. So this will be +1 to the offense. So it turns a no gain into a +1 as they churn and fight for those extra yards. Defense, this will be a run for -2. So 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 takes it out to the, 4, 5, 6, 7, out to the 47. That'll leave 3rd down and 2 for the Broncos. Offense, we get a run. 0 + 1 is 1. And I think on 4th down, they're going to go for it. They're down by 2 scores. They only have 2 drives left. So they do get the final drive, but they got to pick up something here. 4th down, this is probably the game right here. Oh, and oh man, we get a 3 base. -2 is 1, and they get 1 yard. That's what they needed. By the hair, there's a hair at the end of the nose of the football, and that's what crossed the 1st down marker. So 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Offense, run 5 yards. That's going to be down to the 40, 2nd down and 5. As they look to capitalize, defensive snap, pre-snap penalty. We're going to run the play, see what happens. We're looking at a defense that's no gain on the play, so we're going to take that penalty. 40 brings it down to the 35. That'll be 5 yards and a 1st down. So we get 5 more, and that's free yardage there. We look at the defense. It's going to be 8 minus 2 is 6, but their ball is on the ground. So 5, 6. We got to see, does Denver pick it up and fall on it, or is this going to go the other way? 5, Denver falls on it, and they're going to fall on it right there. It'll be 2nd down and 4 for the Broncos. That was they've had a couple of big sighs of relief here, and this is a big time play here. This could change the game. 14 yards, but we have a breakaway. Attention. Oh, 80 yards on the breakaway. That means he catches it for 14 and runs forever into the tunnel. And everybody says, come back, come back. The game is not over. So a 29-yard touchdown for the Denver Broncos. So 29-yard TD pass, the extra point is good. And Denver cuts the lead, 21-14. The Raiders have one more chance to score and try to put this one away. Denver looking for a stop. And how is this one going to come down? We'll see. A 5, that is down to the minus 2-yard line. They're going to take the knee to avoid that fumble. No need to do that here. So they're going to go out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Broncos. And this is 1st and 10 to the Raiders, sorry. Offense, that's a 10-yard run as they lean into that running game. 1st and 10. They drop back. Just as I say that, this is going to be minus 8 yards on the sack as the quarterback runs around, scrambles, gets dropped. And that is not going to help anything. But they come back with a strong run as they run a draw play. This will be 13 yards from the offense's end. So 10, 11, 12, 13 is going to get a lot of that yardage back. And it is 3rd down and 5. Ooh, big time pass there. 7-step drop. They clear out the middle. They hit the tight end. That's going to be good for 16 yards. So 10 and 5, 6 takes the ball to the 49-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Raiders as they try to put this one away. They're up 21-14 on the Broncos on the road. If you want to do some home field advantage, you could do that as well. You could give the Broncos an extra +1 on offense. You could give LA a -1 on offense, or defense usually travels well. Offense is usually the thing that's going to struggle. So you could play that as well if you wanted to add in a little advantage, or a particular team is really good at home. 1st down and 10 from the Denver 49. This is going to be a run for 2 yards down to the 47, brings up 2nd down and 8. Another run as they keep it on the ground, trying to wear out the clock. This will be a run for 3 yards down to the 44, brings up 3rd down and 5. Oh, nicely done. Pass for 8 yards as they complete the short pass. That'll be down to the 36, and that will be a 1st down for the Raiders. Oh, no. They press their luck, and they throw an INT. There's still a chance that they could get the ball back. We'll see. It's a 9. No chance. No chance. 11, so 10. 11 yards down the field at the 25. No, there's still a chance they could get it back. A 9, but there's no chance. So the return is going to be an 8. 8 is out to the 33. So Denver, LA with an INT, second pick of the second half for the Broncos defense. And Denver down by a touchdown, and they've got the man. The man with the plan, John Elway, one of the great comeback kings of all time. He's got the ball, last drive of the game. Can he tie it up? First pass, incomplete, second down. Second play, offense, that's going to be a run of 3 yards down to the 36, leaves third down and 7. This obviously fourth down territory. Offense, run for 8, takes it to the 44 as they stretch out and get 1 yard past the yards needed for the first down. First and 10 from the Denver 44. No, it's a sack. Minus 7 yards down to the 37. Brings up second down and 17. To the defense, a run of -1. They tried to catch them off guard with a little draw play, and that did not work. And that leaves them third down and 17. Third down and 18. Third and 18. Offense pass for 9 yards. That cuts it in half, so up to the 45. That leaves them fourth down with 9 yards to go. This is the literal football game. Are they going to make it? Will this be a touchdown? Will it be a sack? Who knows? Oh, it's off the fingers and incomplete. As the Denver Raiders, the LA Raiders hold up. Denver turns it over on downs. And that is going to be your ball game as the Raiders win this one by a score of 21-14 on the road versus the Broncos. What a game. Key plays in this one, 29-yard touchdown pass from the Denver Broncos got them within a touchdown. Key play in the second half, punt return TD for a touchdown, winds up being the game winner, 63 yards. That was the scoring here in the second half. LA 2 interceptions kept Denver in the game. First half, 47-yard touchdown run for Marcus Allen, and then another 5-yard touchdown run. 1-yard TD pass from John Elway. Elway with 1 TD, no interceptions in this game. Did a great job of driving the offense down the field, but some key penalties killed the Denver Broncos. They had some 15-yard personal fouls that really just did them in a couple of times, trying to get out of their own end zone. Terrific game played by the Raiders. And this is Play Action Football Express. This has been the sort of unofficial official tutorial video for this. If you want to purchase this game, I will eventually put the purchase link down in the description. Again, you will get all of the decks of cards. So you have the black deck is the balanced. You have a run heavy deck here, which it looks exactly the same except it's blue. And that's going to be for play calling, not really for yardage. I try to even out the yardage as best I could, including percentage for completion percentage and things like that. So the red deck is going to be for passing, and there are 60-40 basically, 58-42 passing plays to running plays here. The run heavy deck is going to be 60-40 runs, and then this is split 50-50. So if you want more of an even level game, you can do that. If you're playing older seasons, maybe you want to sort of focus on this 60-40 deck. Most teams are going to be in that 60-40 range. So lots of good stuff to go with the Play Action Football Express. You'll get the field with the clock. You can use the clock. The game is meant to play, and it's built to play with 16 possessions, just like I'm playing here. You'll need something to keep score with, and you'll need the FAC charts. So these charts are for special plays, special teams, and extra yardage on the breakaways. So that's really what you'll need. I'm also going to throw in the drive-by-drive version, both the basic and the advanced version. So you'll be able to play that with these smaller cards as well. If you're not familiar with that, you can check out the videos on this channel in the Play Action Football Express folder or playlist, I guess. But you can check out the drive-by-drive game. You can also go over to Jason Flash Football, at Jason Flash Football, his channel. That is Jason Graham. He is a football aficionado and loves to play tabletop football games. Has graciously landed on mine as his favorite. So there's lots of play action football on there, and you can see the full game played out. You can see the evolution of this fast action card decks, and you can also just generally check out his games that he plays. He's into boxing as well, so if you like boxing games, mixed martial arts, he plays on there. So there's lots of different things, and then he is also a game designer who has created multiple games within a sort of universe. He's created a lot of fictional games that he's made, and he has actually even ported his long-term, I think it's been going 5 or 6 actual years, but almost 30 years of game years using the Play Action Football Express deck. So he'll be using that for that fictional universe that he's put together with a group of friends and family. So you can check that out. He said a lot more of this on the channel, and you can see that it plays well. 21-14 is our score here. If I look back at the actual Raiders at the Broncos, it was 17-14. So that was the final score. It went to overtime. And then the game at home against the Broncos was 31-28. So we're sort of in the right ranges here. You can see that the game plays fairly. Both defenses figured into the game. That's without the defensive module, but I'll also be including a defensive module in the game guide, which will also come with the game. And if you want to learn how to play with this video, that's a great way. If you're more of a reader, it'll be a full game guide explaining all the different plays, including the special situations and things like that. Even some things that we didn't get a chance to cover really in this game. All right. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That's an easy way to help me and what I'm doing. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you'll be notified of new videos whenever they're posted, and that's an easy way to get those subscriptions or get those notifications to you. And we're up to 460 plus subscribers. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed. You can also go to Clark and Addison Gaming, GAMING, gaming.com, Clark and Addison Gaming.com. And you can check out all the other, that'll be where you'll be able to purchase this Express game. You can purchase the full game, which comes with these larger cards. So this comes with all of the different players. This is the Commanders from 2024. So you can see it gives all the same information, just has all the players as well. And you can use that for keeping stats on big plays. And then you can use their starters over here for keeping stats on the not big plays, just sort of normal plays. It also just gives you more of the feel of the team, and maybe you remember some of those guys as well. And that version is a dice version. You can play Action Express with those larger cards and the players. So all of this works out in the universe together. You can play these fast action cards with the regular game. You can, or with the regular cards. You can play the dice game with the small cards or the big cards. You can play the Express game with the small cards or the big cards. And so there's lots of different ways. You can play the game with the drive-by-drive, with the small cards or with the big cards. So everything sort of fits together and locks together into one complete universe. There's also, we don't talk about it much, but there's also a simulator that's included with the game. There's one online that you can use as an application where you simply put in each team's offense and defense, and then you simulate the game over 12 possessions. That's based off of each team's field goal percentage, like per scoring drive. So field goals per scoring drive and touchdowns per scoring drive. And then everything else is just nothing, right? So you either score or you don't score. And that's a little simulator that's always been with the game. There's also a dice version of that if you want to, quote unquote, play a little bit more, or at least have the teams figure in just a little bit more. So that's available to you as well. So you really have a quick play version, you have a drive-by-drive version, you have an FAC version, and you have the full dice version. So you get like 4 games in one. And I'm not going to include these Express cards, these decks, with the full game. but I will include these, the drive-by-drive charts, and I'm going to include these cards, the small cards, with the game. You'll have to buy the Express version on its own, but once you purchase it once, you have the cards. So these cards are not relative to 1985 or 78 or 91 or whatever. They're just the cards, right? They're all the same, and the same for everybody. So I've tried to kind of even them out over NFL averages in history so that they would play fairly and they play well to NFL averages. So it's probably, you're going to find them really good in that like late 80s, early to mid 90s as they were transitioning. The league was transitioning from sort of what it was to what it is today. It's kind of in that range where you're going to find these cards to be. So it might be a little bit hot for the 50s. It might be a little bit cool for the today, but you're going to find that the game plays, right? It plays regardless of the season. When you purchase an Express season, you're going to get those season's cards. If you want to get more of those cards, you can purchase the big game, which will have those cards in them, or you can only purchase the Express game if you want to. You'll get the cards over and over. You don't have to print them over and over. They're not contextualized to that season. So once you purchase the Express game once, you've got the cards as they're going to be. But if you want to continue to purchase these smaller card season sets, you can do that as well. Now they're faster to make, so I'll probably outpace the full game with the small card sets, just because they're easier to put out. All right. If you have any questions, again, leave them down in the comment section. You can also email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com. Happy to get back to you. Happy to answer your questions. You can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com, fill out the contact form that comes to me as well. So if you find yourself on the website, you can do that. A new addition to the website is you can sign up for an email list. And so, I don't know, a few times a year, I'll probably push out an email to everyone just to let them know what's happening, what's coming, what's being worked on, where you can find stuff. And I'm not going to, it's a lot of work to do email marketing, so I'm not planning to do that alongside my full-time job, which also includes email marketing. So I'll probably push those out once a quarter, or maybe even less. So I'm not going to bombard you. But come holiday time, you'll receive one just to let you know what's available and what's going on, and when new things come out. That's probably when I'll do it. So you can sign up for that list and know that I'm not going to bombard you with emails. I get bombarded by some companies with their emails, but that's okay. I just throw them away. It's not a big deal. All right. I think that's it. So the Broncos go down at home 21-14. And this is using the Play Action Football Express. Go over to Jason's channel, Jason Graham, at Jason Flash Football, and subscribe, check out his content. He was a main driver for this game. Just go over, support him. He's got tons of free games that he creates and just gives away for free. So go and take his games and enjoy them. A lot of them are fictional. So if you like fictional games, a lot of them are career mode. So if you like career mode games on the tabletop, you're going to love what he's doing over there. He also is a big fan of Powder Blue Sports and John Turnbull. So if you like those games, he plays them on the channel a lot. So you can find some camaraderie there as well. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.